I mean, the fact that they use informers to set people up just boggles the mind, and you'll understand they're setting them up if they're total scumbags, rapists, people that deserve it, but to actually use them to set up people within their own community, to take the fall for things that they've made up, black flag issues, situations, so they could basically pretend the troubles are still going, so they can get all their money in for their troubles, for their police uniforms and their police, what do you call it, reams and all that rubbish. They basically need money for all that. No better way than use dark green. Yeah, so no better way to keep the money rolling in from the British government than saying the troubles is going strong, and look at this, there's murders every day, we've got working class people being gunned down the street, but they've been surrounded by informers and blackened and then set up. First thing is to try to pretend they're your friend while they're doing all this. And then the worst thing is you find out that it's actual policemen involved in this. It's fucking shocking, to be honest with you. When you think about it, there's not a day doesn't go past where I don't think of, people that have been executed for the games that they play, and they get away with it because they've got a proactive members of society helping them. Murder of Pat Finucane, a solicitor. My brain just every single once a month I would think about him. I don't know why. I just think it's horrendous. Solicitor going about his business, and they're targeting him. I mean that wasn't just the fact that they tried to say that it was rogue elements of the loyalism and all that, oh, come on, Jesus, give us a break. It was collusion from the highest order. And don't get me wrong, don't be thinking here, oh look at him, he's going for one side and he's not. Both of them are at it. Both of them do the same thing. Surround their target, criminalise, politicise, depending on which way it falls. Execute them for the pretend war that's happening here. Get our money in from the British government. Sign the checks. Toodaloo, see you later, boys. All grouped together. I don't want you to tell people this. I'll give you a hard time. God, I do some waffling, don't I? Complete strangers out there telling them the ins and outs of the Northern Ireland conflict. Well, the conflict definitely happened in the past, in the old days. I've worked where many a person that's been directly involved. I've worked where ex-soldiers. Families married across the divide. We've been directly affected by the Troubles. Not as much as some. I have a friend, his brother was shot. Young man, his 20s, going up to visit his girlfriend, a Protestant girlfriend. And a complete and utter waste of life. Came up and shot him in the head when he was sitting in the car. Went back to his shebeen and told him how great and how powerful he is. Because this is how the mission went down. I picked up the gun from the local special branch man, who is really a quartermaster. And then I went out and I spotted my target and I took him out. They probably used to sit in the pubs and clubs, feeling great about themselves, how they can shoot like a young man who's gone off to meet his Protestant girlfriend and obviously hasn't got a bitter bone in his body. Oh, but they have information. They got intelligence. That stated that he talked to Jerry Adams. Yeah, we'll shoot him. Oh, he was seen working on a building site. When he was on that building site, he was talking to insert name. See, you mean, you're probably sitting going, nah, that doesn't happen. That was an everyday occurrence in this country. Every single day. Young men going about their business being shot. And it wasn't, you hear about this thing, they were shot for their religion, they were shot for, they were connected to this, that, or the other. Insert the alphabetical names, IRA, INLA, UVF, UFF. But they were literally just set up targets being used by these people that are working together, by the way, and setting these young men up. And protected. Moved into what I would call is areas of safety where they have members that done what they done throughout the years, and they move them up beside these people. So if you're ever looking at an informer who worked in setting people up within society, you really don't need to look far, because around the corner will be his handler. So if you move up in the Ballymena, no doubt close by is going to be your contact, your support. Yeah, but they do a dangerous job, They're basically informing on the terrorists. No. They're told what to inform on by the terrorists, or so-called terrorists, if you want to call them terrorists. But personally, they're all in the same bag to me. And what I mean is, that what you would call a terrorist or a freedom fighter, another man's butcher is another man's hero, But they're all working together. They're all the same people. Oh God, that's one thing I hate. You paint up your model. The worst thing is that the paint hardens. I mean, you go to fit all the other bits that need to go into holes. The holes have hardened up. Or glue. Then you break pieces as you try to force them on. Yeah, so they're all part and parcel of the same team. Setting individuals up, making stories, writing their appetites before they're even dead. And if they're not killed, then they, because they couldn't find a way to kill them off, they are now the finish out their final years. They let them know that it was because of their words that they said that this happened or that happened. It's all bullshit. Like, it's just to make them feel guilty and use psyops on them, on the setup targets. I'm glad out there at the minute the likes of Andrew Tate, who, I mean, let's get real about it. I mean, it seems to be the media trying to condemn them, convict them instead of the courts. I mean, why have they not been convicted? Why has it seemed to be going on and on and on without any conviction? Well, I mean, I have fellas that have been involved in trouble, got caught, convicted, and in jail within a couple of months. Well, this palaver with these is going on for years. It's like an internet story that's going nowhere. God, that was a pain to get on. Yeah, they're internet stories that are absolutely going nowhere. Why? Why has there been no convictions? Same with Jeffrey Donaldson, going nowhere. It's just over and over and over again. It's almost like they're trying to get you to talk about these people in the media, and say for instance you are one of the setup targets and you're sitting going, look at that there Andrew Tate, I mean, I've done this and again, I'm being treated like flipping an animal, but he, you know, I personally think they're agents. If you look at the backgrounds of some of these guys, Andrew Tate's father was a military and involved in secretive work, from what he says himself. It's not what I say, it's what he says. So, geez, that actually went in without having to break it to get in it. So, these guys are in the media, in the highlight, and they're doing all these talks with the American right wing, but they're never ever convicted. Why not? Why is it going on and on and on forever? These non-convictions. And they're just stories that are being repeated over and over again with no final outcome. We have the final outcome for Jeffrey Epstein. He supposedly kills himself. What a load of shit. Then we have yeah, got distracted. I was trying to work out what the hell these are for. I thought they were stands for a machine gun, but I think they're a suspension holder for the front wheels. Yep. So yeah, you have all these court cases going on and on and on, and they never get to a point. They never get to an end. I remember court cases from years ago used to be on the TV, being highlighted and talked about, but no end in sight, and they disappeared. I never ever found out anything about them after that. So the whole thing with Jeffrey Donaldson, it's similar. That whole rubbish is going the same way. It pops up now and again in the media. You have to remind people. Don't forget what happened to Jeffrey Donaldson. Don't you be messing us about. We've told you to stick with the story. Stick with the story. Even though there's a better story. We want you to stick with this story. So, still no conviction of Jeffrey Dawson, Andrew Tate. Look at Russell Brand went to it, didn't he? He had to bugger off to America at one stage because they were hounding him for sexual predation. That again, whatever happened? Any convictions? Nope. Right, that's just a quick paint up for these, or paint job. A couple more wee bits and pieces to fit, all wee niggly bits. I'll give it a varnish and then I'll repaint it again, and then I'll add the actually, I'll add the stickers first and then varnish it, and then I'll touch up here and there. Actually, I can't because of to do the weather and a few other things. But anyway, enough of my waffling. I'm sure you'll get more in the next video. Apologise for rambling on. From ADHD to troubles, paramilitaries, special branch, which should be disbanded because it's over. No matter how many working class people that try and set up between them in their own various communities are criminalised before they set them up, it's over. Get it in your head. Someday. Thanks for watching.